Hi, this will be a short clip. The word is acheter sur les canons, or buy on the sound of guns, when war breaks out and things look their worst. Now, why is it relevant? Because the Americans, in my opinion, are about to clobber Iran. And if Iran lobs missiles at Israel, Israel will join the party and throw another knockout punch. Bibi, the prime minister, promised. Now, what does it mean for you and your portfolio? It means the market has very likely bottomed or will bottom very soon as the attack begins. It always does. You want proof? Okay. In 1973, after the Yom Kippur War, when the Arabs pulled the oil weapon and stopped selling oil, the market bottomed. 9 years later, in 1982, as the Lebanon War broke out, the market made a generational bottom. It also bottomed on January 15, 1991, when the first Tomahawk missiles left the US destroyers in the battle over Kuwait against Iraq. And the Israeli market also bottomed on October 7th in the Gaza war, and since then has been the best performing market in the world. You got it right. That's, by the way, a market turn I missed, because I thought that the rebelling Israeli aristocracy, mainly the Air Force, whose refusal to fight and supported by the traitor to the Israeli Supreme Court, would infect the Israeli stock market. I was dead wrong. The Israeli market is up 3 times since. 3 times. I won't repeat the same mistake. So what about now? The stock market has been meandering up and down over the last few weeks, with the S&P flans since the beginning of the year, as everyone on Bay Street and Wall Street who can't find Tehran or Kuwait on a map are fed daily panics by the media. Well, I think they're all wrong, and that the US attack, even with the Israelis maybe sitting it out or just supporting the US via air defense, would signify a major market bottom, and the market would zoom, with a tribe of underperforming institutional money managers plowing their excess cash into the market to catch up. What if the Americans won't attack? Then the Israelis will. It is not commonly known that the Israeli Air Force is larger than the US Air Force assets in the Middle East. Yes, about 50% larger. But that won't be necessary, in my opinion, because the American would likely attack. Where and how? That, of course, is unknown. But it may be a surprise. Open source intelligence and some of my informers tell me that the US has been shipping hundreds of attack helicopters in big boxes, both in ships and in Galaxy loaders, that big planes, 6 helis per cargo plane. Each heli has dozens of missiles. Altogether, the hundreds of helicopters are like flying cavalry armed with modern bows and arrows, exploding arrows that is, so they can swarm Iran like a modern Mongol horde. Or maybe there'll be another sort of attack. Who knows? But what I'm fairly certain is that once the attack begins, it will finish fast. When will it start? Not before Narendra Modi leaves. Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He lands in Israel today, February 25. He will speak to the Knesset, the local parliament, visit Yad Vashem, that's the Holocaust Museum, and will depart tomorrow, February 26. The Geneva talk with the Iranians start the same day, tomorrow. Will the Iranians cave in? Not likely. They won't give up their nuke programs, won't give up their missiles, and certainly won't stop supporting Hezbollah and stop killing their own people. Give it a few days. Once it's clear the Iranians told the Americans to go thumb send, it'll be a countdown. Until when? Again, who knows? But if I had to take a guess, I would say probably March 2nd. That's the holiday of Purim, the victory over the evil Persian vizier thousands of years ago by a beautiful pre-Mossad agent named Esther. Look it up. It will be very symbolic to have the attack start then. It may even get to be called the Purim War. Will it happen? Of course, I don't know. But I do know that once everyone in the market is worried sick and keeps ton of spare cash on the sidelines, and suddenly the worry is taken away, then the market zooms. And all the ignorant moneybags throw their spare stash at the market to keep up with the market, which of course makes it zoom even faster. To sum up, I think we may be seeing a repeat of 1991, the beginning of a market zoom at the first day of the war. And then, what after about 9,000, 9,400 on the S&P? The zoom would likely bring euphoria and drive the fear and greed index to 85 or 90 from its current level of 30s and 40s, which means fear. The put-to-call ratio, too, indicates deep gloom, as does the high pile of cash in the hands of pessimistic OPM runners. that other people money. Indeed, I am told that 90% of Bay Street fund managers underperform the market and are therefore waiting mass firings or mass redemptions. Gloom and doom all around. But soon, in my opinion, will come the boom. It may even have started with the market aiming for the moon. And then, once the market has zoomed enough and every OPM runner has exhausted his or her cash, not before, then will come the crash, same as 98 years ago. Yes, because of the long duration of the negative yield curve, of which I spoke several times before, even longer than the yield curve negativity in 1928, 1929. And maybe also because of all the idiotic capital spending on AI, of which I spoke last time, similar to spending on railroads and radio then, before the big crash of 29. But one thing at a time. First, here comes the zoom, in my opinion, due to the coming war. The doom will come later. Watch the news, make sure you consider being invested, and get ready to see fireworks. First in the Middle East, then in the market. That's all for today. Please let me know what you think of the above. And if you like it, forward it to your friends and subscribers who hopefully will subscribe too. And of course, buy my books, The Sleuth Investor, The Advanced Sleuth Investor, where my sleuthing method are discussed in greater depth. I'll see you next time. And meantime, thank you very much for watching.